Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the Black Cauldron. This is the infamous 1985 animated Disney film. It has a distinction of being Disney's 25th animated feature. 7 years in the making is part of the tagline. It's an hour and 22 minutes long, and so it's fairly short for a feature. But it's from a series called the Chronicles of Prydain. Not sure how to pronounce that. I have never read it. I imagine it's a book series, I imagine. Yeah. But it's this movie is very much in the fantasy realm. It is also has the distinction of being the first Disney film that does not have any singing. No musical numbers telling you what the characters are thinking and feeling. It is full-on fantasy action adventure featuring a young farm boy who seeks adventure. It's it's standard Joseph Campbell kind of stuff, but he is stuck watching a stupid pig. A pig, of all things. He's a pig boy. He just watches after a very nice pig, but to him it's not what he was born to be. Along the way, I'm not going to spoil anything because, again, there's a really good chance that most people have not watched this. Most people have ignored it completely because it's not princesses. It's not one of the designated classics. And it was, in 1985, was pretty much on the edge of that era in which Disney animation was about to go down the tubes. After this did not perform the way previous films had done, they were pretty much like, maybe we're going to get out of the animation game. It wasn't until 1989 when The Little Mermaid came along that the Renaissance Disney rose from the ashes when it came to animation. So, yeah, this was unlucky in that to fall in that era. I don't think it deserves any kind of the disdain that it's been given. It's a solid fantasy adventure. It doesn't have the heights of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and it's not your standard D&D campaign of adventure. It is, while it does have those Campbellian roots into it, it is also kind of an unlikely pairing that is weird. It is often oddly paced. It has the young adventurer the young man who is humble or has a humble life and wishes for greater things. We have the princess, who may not be exactly as she seems, and we have the wizard, who's not really a wizard. He's just more of a down-on-his-luck minstrel, who seems to have some magic at his disposal, where it comes to he has a harp, or it's kind of a harp that every time he tells a lie, one of the strings breaks. So it seems conscious in some way. I don't know. There's also a cute fuzzy animal that talks. Not really sure what it is. It doesn't seem like be a dog. It stands on two legs a lot of the time, and it sounds like Gollum. Well, at least the Gollum that we know from the Peter Jackson films. It has that. I mean, in fact, there's two characters that sort of inhabit the Gollum realm. The Gollum character, in a sense. It's what's his face? Gurgi, and then there's also the goblin-like Lickspittle, the kind of assistant to the Horned King, who is the big bad in this. I think, speaking of the Horned King, beyond the fact that this is not a pretty or sweeping female-led adventure, it does have a fairly strong female lead who doesn't take any crap from Taran, the boy, who thinks he's got to be the hero. We have a lot of kind of really spooky, creepy elements. In fact, there's stories, and you can probably find it online somewhere, where a lot of scenes have been edited due to some fairly graphic violence, and just it's a little bit more intense than your usual animated film. A lot darker, lots of skeletons and skulls and monsters, and some really creepy, wonderful special effects, not digital at all, animated effects that almost look almost digital. We're in that phase, but it's still hand drawn, still cell animation. It's still pretty amazing. Some names that you may recognize in this is Don Hahn is very much running the show in a sense, the animation end of things. Directed by Ted Berman and Richard Rich. Yeah, Richard Rich. Richie Rich? Really? Richie Rich? Mike Ploog is a name you might recognize. The comic book people will recognize that name. He is one of the character designers. That's right. He's one of the character designers. And one of the animation stylists. I can't remember the exact title of it. I just saw it in passing. A very young Tim Burton was involved in this. So there's lots and lots. And with any animated feature, there's lots of people involved in this. There's so many that I'm sure I missed. If there's some that you think that should be noted, that out loud, comment. Tell me all about it. I'm not. I don't know everything. I do not ever claim to know everything. I am just, sharing what I see. So. And I enjoyed it. It's the kind of thing for me when it comes to films like this. I need to give it my full attention, and it did pull me in for a while, but I had to step away to do other things, and so I had to pause it for a while and come back to it. So I really wasn't fully engrossed in it. It's the kind of thing where I need to see it a second time, especially people who appreciate this kind of storytelling. So. It's definitely creepier. It's not horror, but it's got some scarier elements to it than your standard Disney animated feature. The closest thing that could come to it, I don't know. I mean, Fantasia has some pretty wacky elements to it, but that was 1940. It's a whole other world away when it came to animation. But yeah, This is definitely something I think that people need to discover for themselves and make their own decision. If you are into the fantasy realms kind of entertainment, you like D&D, you like Lord of the Rings type of things, definitely check this out. I almost think that what they started here was going to hopefully turn into a franchise of sorts. Not that they did a whole lot of sequels. In fact, no sequels back in the day for old Disney films. Not until the late 90s when they started cranking out those straight to VHS movies that were... They wouldn't even do one of... I don't think they even did one for this because it did so horribly. It was received so poorly. Yeah, you're going to see, if you're a fantasy person, you're going to see all the holes and with pacing and just how things work. But it's amazing to look at. The characters, I think, could have been fleshed out a little bit more. But again, that's a problem with pacing and the amount of time that was featured in this film. Again, with all the stuff that was deleted out of it, not that it really would have made the characters deeper, it just made it shorter. So we have a pretty creepy bad guy. We have some pretty creepy goals and what he does with the Black Cauldron, which is the MacGuffin of this entire thing. And I mean, the inclusion of the pig, which is important to get the hero, make the hero call, the call to action for the hero is the pig is required. But for the most part, to me, it was just a weird choice. But again, if this is taken from a bigger, just larger epic saga that I do not know about, it probably makes a whole lot more sense. And to distill it down into a Disney type of thing sometimes takes away the nuance. So all I can say is this is one of these little hidden gems. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely something that if you're into the fantasy realm, it's worth checking out. You need to check it off the list and make your call. When you think about it, it could become your favorite Disney film for all I know. It's just so unlike so many other Disney films that it almost can't take that title, but it is. It absolutely is. So I would love to see more decoration and things like that, like during Halloween time at Disneyland. I would love to see more any Black Cauldron. I can't recall any Black Cauldron stuff appearing anywhere because it's such a deep cut for so many people. No princesses. Well, yeah. Anyway, I won't spoil that. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 26. All the way down to the bottom again. 26. Oh, it's a chance to have so many shorts around this. But I got, I think it's a reality series. It's not necessarily a documentary, but it's a reality series. And I'm going to watch one episode, unless I'm like really into it. But I do not like reality series, so I don't know what to expect from this. We're going to be watching Arranged. So yeah. I think it's about marriage. Arranged is what we're watching next in the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.